everybody! Whoops. I'm sorry. Hello everybody, this is Jandy the Artsy-Rose, and welcome back to the last part, or the second to last part, for Niflheim's Strangest Night with Philippe. After I get this half, I will read the special story to you. The special sweet story. Standing next to Sunny was Victor, wearing a sour face. I heard there was a Halloween party at the Western family's house, and I never bothered to go before, but for some reason, I wanted to come this time. The hatred I felt in my heart suddenly vanished. I don't know exactly what happened to me, but it feels like I finally got rid of that obsession. It seems that Lord Victor's heart has lightened its load. That's good. It is! Fighting over silly things is just a waste of time! Lord Victor, let's eat some pumpkin dishes over there! Sunny took Victor by the hand and dragged him towards the table. Oh, that's right. I should write this too. Philip began writing with his pen again. Philip and Jandy met the king in the garden 1 hour later. Why 1 hour later? Because tonight's Halloween. Right? And this is the perfect setting for it. Philip looked at the ballroom like he was enjoying himself. You'll forgive me if I want to spend a good time with you here, even if just for a little while, right? Philip? Soothing and comforting music began to play in the background. Philip looked towards me and extended his hand out. Cute witch, would you be so kind as to cast your love spell on me? I shall. I placed my hand in Philip's. That spell will disappear for the next 1,000 years, so you better prepare yourself. As I joked with him, Philip showed me that smile I loved so much. I sure hope that's the case. And just like the two happy lovers in a romantic story, we stared at each other passionately while we danced to the music. We headed to the garden 1 hour later, and there was the king, sitting quietly on a bench. His profile seemed a bit sad. He looks like a lost puppy. My king! When Philip called out to him, the king looked towards us, surprised. You guys! His lovely face seemed brightened like a flower in bloom. What in the world took you guys so long? Even though he was talking like that, he looked extremely happy. He couldn't stop smiling. The king must have had a rough time by himself. What have you been doing? What have you been doing till now, Your Majesty? You have to listen to my story. It was crazy. When I got here, it was like I hit my head really hard and forgot everything. Oh. Philip lied to Skeletano, saying that we had lost our memories too. But it looks like the king really lost his memories when he got here. My head is still pounding. The king dropped his shoulders and rubbed the backside of his head. How awful. I think that if Jandy petted my head, I'd feel a lot better in an instant. Huh? Pet the king's head? What would you guys do? If I was streaming, I'd like to wonder. Well, I really don't know how to stream, but I'd actually be curious. What options would you guys have me do? Maybe I should do that if I ever learn how to stream, I should have you guys give me suggestions, vote for what choice I make. I'd like to see that just for my own amusement, what you guys would pick. Anyway, if this were me, I wouldn't do it because seeing as I have a boyfriend, I would be concerned if my sweetie was not okay with it. I think he'd be offended. But petting some other guy's head would be rude to Philip. My king, I can't do that. The king looked pretty shocked to hear that. Why not? Well, because there's someone that I love. Oh, but I don't mind. Philip smiled bitterly. You're a meanie, Jandy. Forget about it then. Once I get back to the castle, I'll have the girls from the harem pet me for hours. I'll be right back. But petting a guy's head is... The king looked at me with stars in his eyes. Okay, fine. I mean, it's the king after all. My hand approached the king's head slowly and petted his head backside, and petted his backside gently. The king purred like a kitten, as if he were enjoying himself. Like this? Thanks, JD. I feel a bit better. Really? That's good to hear. Philip smiled gently too. Let us proceed! His Majesty must have had quite a tough time facing all this by himself. Yeah, I guess, but a nice girl approached me, prying into my business. You were in that woman's care this whole time? And you were in that woman's care this whole time? Yeah. The king nodded in agreement. It looks like I'm popular in whatever world I go to. It looks that way. But she said that her husband was coming back today, so she kicked me out. Isn't that just plain adultery? And while sitting on this bench here in the garden, I regained my memory somehow. I remember everything now. I am the king of Niflheim. When those words left the king's mouth, his expression turned very serious. My king, I'm afraid that we are in the story of Love Caprico. We might have been swallowed up by that book thanks to an old Halloween curse. But it looks exactly like Niflheim. I believe that's something that you brought about, my king. We must think of a way to get back to our own world. Yeah. The king turned his head. I don't think we have to worry so much about how to get back home. And why is that? Because that's what I want. The king stood up from the bench and walked towards the center of the garden. My king? This tiny world is not big enough to contain me. My power is greater than that of some Halloween spell. When the king raised his hand into the air, the gray sky began to crack. I'm going back to Niflheim. Open the way! The cracks kept spreading throughout the sky, and we watched the scenario tearing into pieces with our very own eyes. I couldn't help but to be completely amazed at what was happening in front of me. Oh dear, it looks like the king's ready to go home. And to think one could pull something like that through a mere feat of strength. I like being with Philip and with the king. The people from Niflheim are definitely not your ordinary type of people. Behind the crumbling sky, an intense darkness could be seen spreading. Well, that's our exit. The king headed towards the darkness, feeling quite proud of himself. Will that really take us back to Niflheim? Yes, I don't even have to see it to confirm it. My Niflheim is on the other side of that darkness. Jandy, let's go. Philip took me by the hand, and we followed behind the king and into the darkness. It's only been a couple of days since everything happened, but it feels like we've been in this world forever. You're right. Time felt especially slow when I couldn't see you, Jandy. I don't even want to have to go through that again. Me neither. I grabbed onto Philip's hand even tighter. Once we finally got through the darkness, we could see the familiar royal gardens. Next up, my beloved Niflheim! The king spread his arms out in joy, absorbing the atmosphere of the night. We're finally home. Huh? Philip said something in a low voice. There's a book on the floor. Philip picked the book up. It was Love Caprico. Strange. I thought this book had been burned.
I did burn it! I lit it on fire myself!
The king stepped back in disbelief as he looked at the book.
That's scary! Way too scary! I'm not a fan of horror movies!
Have you learned your lesson, my king? You won't mistreat books any longer, will you? Because no matter what book it is, someone's thoughts were involved when it was written. Gently warned by Philip, the king just hung his head in shame.
I won't burn a book ever again.
What should we do with this book? When Philip tried to hand over the book to the king turned his face away as far as he could.
Get it away! I don't need that creepy book!
I see. Then can I have it? I've been wanting to give it a read.
Of course! If you want it, it's yours! Now get it away!
Thank you so much. When Philip and I were about to head home, Orlando came back out from the castle and into the garden.
My king! Were you here this whole time? You're about to miss the Halloween parade. What? It's still Halloween here? I already had enough Halloween in the other world.
Did you hit your head?
Why, yes I did! Just look at this bump! My goodness!
Orlando opened his mouth like he was in shock. It doesn't matter what Orlando says. He really cares about the king. But Orlando crushed that sweet image I had of him mere seconds after that.
Whatever shall we do with you if you become any dumber? I won't be able to take proper care of you anymore. I'm not an idiot!
But maybe if we hit your head numerous times, you might become smarter in a week.
Let's give it a try, my king. Look, there's a nice rock rolling over there that we can use. No way! I hate feeling pain!
As we heard them banter on, Philip laughed to himself standing next to me.
It looks like no matter how long we were in that book, time really hasn't passed here.
I'm so glad. Not only was I able to spend Halloween with you in that book, but now we can spend it here together too. Yeah, I want to spend Halloween with you as many times as I can. This had been one of Niflheim's marvelous 7 wonders. The Curse of Halloween. Though we were manipulated by the book Love Caprico, rather the ending was a truly changed to a happy one, or still remained to be seen, or not, still remained to be seen. When I had finished the story, hold on, I'll be right back. After you complete the story, you'll get this ticket. You need it in order to read Philip's special sweet story. Well, I'm glad that I got that proper recording. At this point, it might be some time before you read the special sweet story. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna refrain it from you guys. I am gonna record it, but I just want to check to see that there's enough space on my phone in order to make the recording, because it's, last I checked, I am positive it was over 16 minutes. Well, I am Jandy the Artsy-Rose, and I'm happy to have entertained you. Goodbye.